Welcome to today's video. We're going to be touching on two pet peeves of mine, reasons why your lower back pain is not getting better. That would include sciatica as well there. And hopefully by the end of this, you can rule out these as errors that you're making. They are incredibly common, both taken from clinical practice and more recently with the Back in Shape program and our members. If you can avoid making these two errors, then you will do dramatically better in your back pain rehab. So let's kick things off. This is going to be a bit of a talking head video. I'm going to be talking about these points. There's not going to be too much in the way of demonstration because I just want to make sure that you guys get the message so you can avoid these critical errors. Now let's get into number one. Now the very first one comes all the way back from clinical practice, and this would include when we would be treating patients in our clinic using all of the latest and greatest technology that we had there. And that would be relying on treatment. Maybe it's a 1 hour session that you have a week. Maybe it's a 1 hour or 30-minute session that you have every couple of weeks or even a month. Quite often patients, when they have lower back pain, come to rely on these sessions or treat these sessions as a fix when they are far from that. Remember that you will often be having, if we take the example of having one hour worth of treatment session a week, you are having 1 hour where you are productively working on your back pain out of 168 of the week. Back pain is not caused by a one-off thing. It is something that we live to develop, we grow through, we create in the habits and ways in which we use our bodies on a daily basis. Sure, there are the very, very rare, and having seen literally thousands of patients, I can attest to the fact that this is very, very rare, and you watching this will probably know that it doesn't apply to you, but there are the cases where someone has had no issues whatsoever, been fit and healthy, and they've fallen off a ladder, or they've been unfortunate and been in a car accident, but that is the very minute number of cases. Most people, it's built up over many years. It started as a bit of discomfort, then it got worse and worse and worse, and maybe now you've been dealing with it for a little while. 1 hour of treatment in a week is not going to cut it. And this is the biggest paradigm shift that you can make if you're going to have success. And it's coincidentally one of the reasons why the Back in Shape program works quite so well, because it starts to give you things to do in those other 167 hours every single week to start to make improvements. If we take the example for a moment of a broken leg or a broken arm, know that it is in cast for 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer depending on the severity. The doctors know, do you know what? I know that if we just put a strap on it, or if we say just don't move it for the next 6 weeks, John at home is going to use a TV remote, he's going to pick up the kettle and he's going to damage the arm that's broken. So we're going to remove John from the equation and we're going to put him in a cast so he can't mess it up. The amount of times we have heard and other practitioners will have heard, and maybe even you've said this to your practitioner, I feel bad this week, I don't know why, I haven't done anything, and that's not true, is it? When it comes to your lower back, it's a low bone structure every day. And fundamentally, for many reasons, which we won't get into in this video, we cannot put you in a brace. That is unwise and that is worse, if nothing else. However, you will be doing things on a daily basis in those other 167 hours, and those will invariably need to be modified. And if they are not modified, coming back in to see that practitioner and saying, hey, I haven't done anything this week. That's not true. We have done things. We just might not have identified what those things might have been. We might have been delivering things. We might be a driver of some description for our occupation. We might be a desk-based worker. And that takes out a huge swathe of the population, perhaps yourself, who's spending hours and hours every single day putting more pressure on that lower back, on those discs, perhaps the root cause of that sciatica. If you had the broken leg, you'd be in a cast. You wouldn't be able to do that. You'd be in crutches or using crutches. You wouldn't be able to make those mistakes. And unfortunately with back pain, it's that cooperation, that coordination. Yeah, sure, you have that treatment once every week or once every month or once every fortnight, but you have to do the work at home, and that is the paradigm shift that I mentioned earlier. We have many members in the program that will continue to have treatment alongside the program. But you need an effective mechanism for helping remedy the causes of that lower back pain at home. And you also need to become aware of how to do things better, from getting up off a chair to getting up and around the house to moving effectively with your core engaged and learning just how we should be moving, something that sometimes we haven't been objectively taught ever in the past. And so these mistakes are just unknown to us. You don't know what you don't know. The second pitfall that you might fall into is working with sheets of exercises that are either fundamentally not helpful, or sheets of exercises, maybe it's the right exercises, but it's just a sheet of paper. You don't know how to do these exercises. So you've got the one camp of people that are doing things like knee hugs because they've been prescribed them, or rocking the knees. What on earth is that doing to build any strength whatsoever to address the important preceding factors, the causative factors that have led to the back pain and that are stopping it resolve effectively. You're not going to build core strength to protect your lower back on a day-to-day basis if you're doing things like knee hugs and knee rocks. They're just not helpful. They are fundamentally a waste of time, and people are pressured for time all the time nowadays, and it's very difficult to prioritize your exercises, let alone if you've got ones that are ineffective. The second thing is that you might well be doing or being given the right exercises, but it's a sheet. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, a video is a novel, and it'll help you get all the nuance necessary to understand how you should be doing that exercise. I know from experience, going through in clinic with a patient a specific exercise, checking it, rechecking it, getting it right together, and then they come in next week and don't do it correctly, and we need to recheck. If that happens in clinical settings, what are the chances it's happening with you just following a program that you've got online when it's a sheet of exercises? You need the video, you need the ability to learn that nuance and revisit it. And then once you've got the right thing, the onus is, of course, on you to revisit those exercises to make sure that they're done correctly. And in special cases, be able to have the facility to check that with someone who knows what they're doing. That is the all-important expert guidance that is so very vital to help you really get your back pain fixed this time round. Now, we don't typically do videos like this. Most of our videos on our YouTube channel, and there are literally hundreds, are there to help you with specific bits of guidance, etc., that you can do, how to do this exercise, etc., and we have the program. But this is directing you more specifically to the program. The program that we've created that does meet all of those needs, and that if you use it as a tool correctly, can really help support you in that 167 hours. Maybe you are someone that has treatment and maybe you're not, but we are finding more and more those that come to the program have been recommended by their practitioners who don't want to go to the trouble of creating a program because they're busy. I know from personal experience, seeing hundreds of people every week, you don't have the time to go and write a program as well and then provide that support necessary to make that program effective for those using it. It's helpful if you can refer people to somewhere where they can get that support they need and you can do your job treating as a practitioner. For those of you that aren't already in the program, you've got the actual right exercises, as we mentioned earlier, that you should be doing with video explanation, with the demonstration, with nuance, etc. Videos that help you tweak and adjust these things. You've also got the education. I mentioned that 168 hours every week. We've got 24 hours in a day. What you are doing in those other hours where you're not doing your exercise is inordinately more impactful on your moment-to-moment or absence of the moment-to-moment relapses that are so commonly associated with back pain that drive you literally mad because you injure yourself doing something so silly. Well, education around how to do those things correctly is so very vital, and that's also included in the program. It's not just the exercises, but then more importantly, it's the ability to get feedback. We need to know what we're doing on a daily basis. We need the ability to check ourselves, recheck ourselves, and make small micro adjustments along the way. That is the invaluable part of our weekly live Q&As, which many of you watching this video will be regulars on. And also our Facebook group where members will upload videos of them doing the exercises for checking. And even if you're not someone that uploads a video, you can see others and the feedback that they get and go, I think I do that with my knee, and maybe that's why it's not quite working right for me. I'll make that change when I next do my squats, for example. Lastly, when you do move further on, you start really getting back into doing the sorts of exercises that you should be doing and that you want to do on a daily and weekly basis. You can join us for some of the awesome live workout challenges that we do, which is where all of our group comes together and we do a set of live workouts over the period of a couple of weeks to a month to really build up that momentum and get our bodies as well back in shape in the most robust and most complete way. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about the Back in Shape program and you're not already a member, click a link just up here to learn more about some of the reviews from previous members to see what they've had to say about the program. And there's also a little link up there to one of the recent features we've had in the Daily Express and the Daily Mirror, a full page cover of one of our members and the great work that she's done in the program. Finally, we do these videos to help you guys. If you know someone else that's been struggling with their low back pain, then consider sharing this video with them. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you hit the notification bell so you know next time we release a video, and we release them pretty much every single week on a different topic to help you with your lower back pain. And also remember, more recently we've been doing work on our social channels as well as YouTube Shorts, short little 30-second to 15-second videos that are there to help give you some quick instant tips to help you with your back pain and much more besides that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and we will see you in the next video.